So I started Marty Supreme the other night, and long movie, A. B, I got like...
Is it?
What was it? It's like 2 hours
it's
or
like
2.5?
It's like 2:10. It can't be 2:10.
It might be 2:10.
There's no way. Oh my god, it is 2.5.
It is 2.5.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah, it's like...
Wow, alright.
I was surprised when I was like getting into it. I was like, oh, wow, alright. Like, so I started it, and I was like, whatever, I'll just be up late, doesn't matter, you know. But like, I don't know, I got a bit into it, and A, Timothée Chalamet plays a piece of shit really well. And B, I got to the hotel scene, and then I was like, I gotta hang this up for now. Like, I'm not. I can't.
That's early. That's pretty. Oh wait, which hotel? I guess
the one where the tub breaks through the ceiling.
Yeah, that's so early. Wow, you can't be more than like 40 minutes in.
Yeah, no, I was like an hour in because like they.
Wow.
I think there was like the ping pong hustle right after that.
Yeah.
Either right after or right before. But I was like, oh, jeez, man. Like, I don't know. I was like, I can't. Someone's rubbing me weird there.
Yeah.
But I got fucking jump scared by Kevin O'Leary. Like.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know he was in it.
No,
like,
yeah.
Not, like, I just, like, that was like top 3 things people talked about with that movie. And still is, because he's enjoying a little, celebrity resurgence because of that movie. It's a good movie, but it's a little bit obnoxious that he's in it.
Yeah, guy's a major piece of shit, and I would rather not see him in anything ever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like he is playing the villain, which you'll come to see. I mean, no spoilers there. Yeah. So it's good casting in that way, but it is also like, oh, but he's not just like playing a villain. He's
like actually
extremely villainous, and it doesn't feel particularly like a commentary or anything interesting. You could have like a villainous guy, I don't know, playing kind of like on type or something, or even against type. I don't know. But yeah, he isn't really he just kind of seems like he's having a fun little power fantasy, and I don't know. It sucks.
I mean, it feels like a lot of his life is about like enjoying a little power fantasy, Like that's
sure.
I feel like a lot of like the whole like the shark not Shark Tales. Fuck, what is it called? Shark Tank. Yes. Yeah.
Shark Tales.
I feel like a lot of that is like I mean, I do think part of it is like looking for like, new business opportunities, trying to encourage young entrepreneurs, yada yada. But like also a decent part of that is just like power fantasy optics, that sort of shit.
Yeah,
right?
I can choose to make or break somebody's entire life. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, that sucks. But I have a bone to pick with you. Because like I hate watching a movie in 2 parts.
Yeah.
I will do, if I don't think I can finish a movie in one sitting, I won't start it. Like I can't understand how people do it. It just, it really gets under my skin. I find it so disorienting and like.
So to be fair.
Yeah, just like a terrible way to watch a movie.
I mean, it's not great, but like, I really thought I was going to finish it, but like, I mean, I started at like 1 a.m. or something. I was like, yeah, like whatever, fuck it. Because like you're
such a maniac. You're so crazy. I don't.
I knew I was not going to get to sleep.
You're like,
bro.
oh, I'm gonna start getting to bed early. I'm gonna fix my sleep schedule, and then I talk to you, and it's like 4 a.m. You're like when I wake up, I'm like, why are you awake? And you're like, why are you awake?
Guess what time I went to sleep last night? Just throw a dart at a board.
I don't know. I mean, 3 o'clock.
It was 5. I was up with Zach.
5?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, have fun with that.
Still in at work at 9. Let's go. Boom!
Yeah, that's cool. You should tell your boss that and see how that goes over.
I mean, we were doing stupid AI training today, so I was,
like... Oh, cool. It was your favorite. Yeah. It was good that you were there bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you do that a lot? I mean, or do you, do you have
split
any...
movies up?
Like the... Yeah.
Not really. I try to watch them in one sitting if I can. I would say, well, I don't know. I would say, like, in the past, most of my movie watching has been just, like, dropping in and, like, seeing, like, parts of movies. Or, like I'll miss, like, the beginning of a movie, and then, like, I would also have to be okay with, like, missing the end, because, like,
sure. I
usually don't control my own transportation. So, like, my comings and goings are decided by those around me, in general, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not even going to take that. That's bait. I'm just not
Is
gonna,
it bait?
I'm not even going to
I'm just mentioning it.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, but I do prefer to watch a movie all the way through. Yeah. Just didn't work out this time. I am looking forward to finishing this. I don't know. I gotta.
Yeah.
If I ever watch a movie in 2 parts, I will like rewatch the last like 20 minutes or so of like what I had seen before.
Right.
You know.
Because I remember you saying you did that with Beau Travail. I think
Beau Travail I restarted entirely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because like I didn't feel like I was sinking my teeth into it. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like when you split a movie up into 2, like. You know, when you start a movie, you know what your mindset is going in. I have no idea what my mindset's going to be tomorrow when I start it back up again. I'm going to be a whole different person. You know, it's almost like I want to give it the fair shake while I have it.
I can I'll say it's easier if I'm like starting something the next day that I like, or if I'm finishing a movie the next day that I started the day before. It's easier for me to like prime myself for a mindset where I'm like, okay, like I know what has happened. I know like what to expect from this movie and like how to. So like. The thing with Beau Travail, right? Like, going into the movie, I had no idea what to expect. And then, like, I do think I kind of benefited from at least rewatching the first 45 minutes or so. Because I definitely was, like, more attentive and, like, more, like, into it the second time. Because the first time, if I had known, like, what I was in for, and, like, I knew, like, my mindset at the time, like, I was like, oh, like, this is like a meditative movie. I am not going to be able to sit here and like watch it and latch on and be, you know, like, interested. Sure. So I don't know. I think like in that regard, it could maybe help a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. I feel like I look into movies more often than you do before watching them, which maybe that's just like, cause I'm pretty picky about like when I watch certain movies, or like I won't start a movie that I'm not in the mood for.
Yeah.
Like I try to preempt it. So maybe that's a piece of it too. You know, I wasn't going to watch Fiddler on the Roof at like, 9 p.m. Like because I kind of knew what I was in for.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would watch this movie any time of day, to be honest with you. And I mean that quite to literally.
We're about to have an episode.
Okay, cool.
I think we're about to have an episode. What's the show, Ricky?
This? The show that the Watchers are listening to right now? This is We Want to Watch. I'm Ricky.
I wish this bit would go away. I hate this bit. I hate this. Do you think it's funny? It's not
a little funny.
Like,
it's a little funny to me. Funny. Yeah, kind of.
My name is Lane. I sent the show to a friend of mine, Cassandra. Shout out Cassandra and Jeff. And I was like, you don't have to listen.
It's not good.
Like, she was like, oh, can you send it to me? Is it okay if you send it to me? I was like, you don't have to listen. It's okay. Like, and she was like, no, I love listening to my friends' voices. Like sometimes we're in the car and we're just like, oh, that's our friend. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if you want to. I don't. No. Well, no pressure. What was this week's Rick's pick?
This week's Rick's pick was Fiddler on the Roof from 1971, directed by someone whose name I don't have because I don't actually have it pulled up this time. I didn't do my due diligence.
Norman Jewison. Why are we 3 years in?
Wow.
To the show.
To it.
You only have to like pull up. You only have to pull up the name half the time. Honestly, less than half the
time. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Even that's too much. Oh my! Do other podcasts have this problem?
I don't know. I don't listen to them.
Like, where one of the hosts just doesn't give a shit.
I don't know. Do they? You are the podcaster here, or podcast listener here of the two of us.
You are also the podcaster.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's a little true. Yeah.
Do you not actually listen to podcasts?
No.
I guess we've never talked about that. Yeah, that's really funny. Ever. Just like
ever.
Never ever.
Yeah. That's why, because you like, when we first started this, you mentioned that, you're like, I'm sure you listen, you were like, I'm sure you listen to stuff, so like, you get like how it works. I was like, yeah, right.
And you just lied instead of being honest. No wonder this show sucks.
I'm 80% sure I did say to you, actually, I don't listen to podcasts. And you said, no, you do. And I said, okay, sure. Like, fine. Like, okay.
That might have happened. Yeah. That kind of sounds true. Yeah. That kind of sounds like it might have.
It's like, that does vaguely resemble...
That does resemble our dynamic, yeah. Well, shit. I've sent you podcasts. I've been like, oh, this podcast I listened to, like, covered an episode on like a movie we covered, and I've sent it to you and been like, oh, listen to what they have to say about this, and I just know now that you've never clicked.
No, I do click on them, and if you give me, because you sent me, like, a timestamp, you've been like, you'll be like, 14 minutes, they talk about yada yada, and so I'll listen to it for, like, 20 minutes or so, like, I'll let them get done their bit, and maybe even a bit or two afterwards if I'm really enjoying it, and then it's gone. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Also, the thing is like, I spend a lot of time, like, playing games on Discord with my friends, and, like, even if I'm not playing with them, if they're on and playing, like, I'll just hop on a Discord and, like, sit in and listen. Yeah, and, like, they'll stream and stuff, but, like, I don't know, if I'm, like, vacuuming or, like, doing, like, the dishes, doing laundry, clothes, or doing, cooking or anything, it's just nice to have, like, background noise running, and it's, like,
it's just nice to listen to my friends.
It is just nice to listen to my friends. Yeah. On the internet, I love that.
Well, maybe you should, if there was ever a thing that you could do to, like, better this podcast, since apparently you can't even be asked
it's literally
to
fucking
anything.
Fucking
Wikipedia page.
I was doing better with this recently. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. That was my bad. Yeah.
Hey Lane, can we record an hour late? Can we I didn't eat dinner yet. Can we record? I also need an hour to pull open. Anyway, why did you pick Fiddler on the Roof? What? Hello?
Oh, sorry, what?
What is that?
What?
What is that?
Fiddler on the Roof. It's Dooba Scoot Canoe.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, Dooba Scoot Canoe. The German song. Anyway, so... I picked Fiddler on the Roof because I didn't have a Rick's pick, and I was checking our our picks list, and it was on there.
Oh, is it on
there?
Yeah,
and it looked good. I wanted to watch it, yeah. And I had heard of it before.
I had no idea that this was... Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like, this is like a classic. I've heard of it before, never watched it, and I'll just say, now having watched it, I reference this a lot. Like... Yeah. I could definitely see how someone would assume that I have seen this. Like, this feels like a very Ricky style...
Do you maybe just bleep your name?
Oh, fuck! You're right, my bad.
But no, what do you reference from it?
A lot of the songs, honestly.
Kind of crazy, like, iconic soundtrack.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I didn't know either.
Matchmaker. Yeah. I sing that a lot. If I Were a Richmond.
Which, crazy, I definitely, I mean, that's the obvious thing, like, the Gwen Stefani song, but I was like, oh, I thought that was from, like, I don't know, a song that was older than time.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't, or a tune, but so hearing it here was like, when he starts singing, I was like, oh, whoa. Like, that kind of tunnel vision of realizing where something is from.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. It was super fun. I don't know. I mean, I know I sing those a lot. I feel like there was one more song later. But, I mean, looking
Sunrise,
at the list,
Sunset
I don't know. Maybe.
Is another one.
It might have been that one, yeah. Yeah, because that makes sense. That's about the time.
Tradition.
Oh, yeah. Tradition! Yeah.
That song, so, like, speaking of podcasts, I listened to a show called This Had Oscar Buzz, which is like a movie podcast from two kind of like culture writers, film critics, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they cover movies that at one point had, buzz around Oscar. And they covered a movie called Rendition from like about
Rendition.
Yeah, and they play, and so every time they would say the name of that movie, they play the every single time. Yeah. And I've always been like, what the fuck is that sound cue? It must be some like some song called like a rendition or a rendition of something from a musical. And so to hear it like within the first like 15 seconds of this movie, I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like getting flashbacked immediately.
Yeah. Movie has a great opening.
Yeah.
Like a great opening.
Yeah.
The fact that he opens and the first words are like, a fiddler on the roof. And then they show the fiddler on the roof. I was like, oh, wow, we're getting it.
That's it! He said the thing! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Can they do that? Like, what?
Well, and he starts talking to the camera, and I was like, oh, I'm in the bag for this. I can tell Ricky's going to be in the bag for this. Like, I was super locked in from the, like, great start to a movie.
Yeah.
And, of course, like, you're not going to start your song or start your movie with the song called Tradition, talking about how great Tradition is without knowing, like, oh, I know exactly how the rest of this movie's gonna play out. Oh, you have 3 daughters, and they're all like of eligible marriage-making age.
Yeah. I wonder.
What could happen?
Yeah. What will be the main conceit of this film?
Yeah. What did you think of this?
This movie? It was great. I loved it. This was so fun. Yeah. I mean, I like it on like a couple levels. I mean, not just like a fun movie to watch. I think it's like really well made. I love all the music in it. I know I've said before I don't really like musicals per se. The more
have you said that?
I have said that.
But you love the musicals that we've seen.
I was gonna say the more I've been watching musicals, the more I'm thinking I might be a musical man. I don't know, like.
I think you might be the music man.
Yeah.
I think that might be the case because what else have we covered? You really like
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Umbrellas.
Yeah.
What other musicals have we really?
There's a couple that are like the music isn't ingrained within the film. I gotta check the list.
I'm thinking of like Selena, Nashville.
Selena, Nashville, both up there. There was a recent one too, wasn't there? Like a fairly recent one.
Battleship Potemkin. Sorry, I'm laughing at my own jokes.
I get one. I do that all of the time. That is literally like my thing.
Theater Camp. Have we seen another? Oh, Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is what we're thinking.
Okay, yeah. Theater Camp.
Yeah.
Like, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
Exit stage left. Yeah. Moulin Rouge is great. Yeah, I feel you there.
I feel like there was one after Moulin.
And Cabaret.
There it is. Yes, yeah. And I loved Cabaret. That was awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cabaret is great. Yeah, I feel you. I dig it. This is our first kind of classic musical. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a scholar of musicals enough to say what a classical one or classic one is, but like, I'm thinking like pre-70s. Like, I think this play came out, or like this, stage play came out in the 60s. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of thinking of like, I don't know, like the Rodgers and Hammerstein, like big, like Hello Dolly, or like whatever, like those types of,
Streetcar Named Desire. I don't even know if that's a musical.
That is not a musical. We should watch that though. That's definitely like prime we want to watch material there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That'd be really good for us. I know you only know of it because of The Simpsons.
Yeah, so Streetcar Named Marge. Yeah. I wasn't even going to mention it, but
well,
season 6, episode 17.
Yeah, this I feel like we haven't covered something that we really need to hit. Something I've considered several times up to this point has been Singing in the Rain.
Ooh.
Which is supposed to be not just like one of the best musicals of all time, but like one of the best movies of all time. So I feel like that like prime era of the movie musical, with that kind of like 40s to mid 50s, late 50s thing, is really ripe for us to revisit or to visit at some point, because that's such a super influential, like West Side Story I'm thinking of too is a little later, but yeah, like that period, because A, it's so influential, and B, because like the late 60s, 70s was kind of like seen as like the death of the movie musical in a lot of ways, if we're talking about like film kind of like history, because they just got so big and boring. Like it kind of became like this very routine. Fiddler on the Roof is different, but like they became very formulaic.
Yeah.
And the kind of 60s, 70s is when, like different, like what we would consider like auteur cinema started to emerge more and like away from the studio system. So it's kind of, most of the movies that we've covered have been 70s and later. We haven't hit as many. And I don't think other than Umbrellas, which is the 70s, right? Fuck that movie. That movie sucked. That's
so crazy.
I could not hang. I couldn't hang. I'm sorry. 60s, 64, so 5 years before this one. So yeah, like that's like the earliest one we've seen, I guess. So yeah, so it would be interesting to go back to something like Singing in the Rain, or some of those really kind of like classic ones, and comparing them.
Yeah.
Because they were like a totally different beast. They were like the movie. Like they were like the big movie from that era.
Yeah. Yeah, it is also, I mean, I think it's super weird to like look back at, like, we talk about films being, I guess, like sort of dated by, like, not just their content, but like sort of, I guess, I don't know, like they're so context driven, and like movies can very often like capture the vibe of a time really well. So it's super interesting, especially for like older movies, because I don't have really the background there. But like any movie from like, I'll say like before like 2000, right? Like it feels like it was steeped in such like a different like cultural, like time frame, I guess, right? Like the time period that like musical movies is like a lot longer than like fads nowadays in terms of like movie, like the superhero movie fad, which is still kind of, I guess, rolling.
Sure, yeah, that's a great way of thinking about it. No, I mean superheroes they're on the way out.
They are
right?
on the way out, yeah. But like, what's sort of filling that gap? I think I mean, horror movies are getting real popular again. It ebbs and flows, but it's
It's so interesting that it's taken like 7 years, basically. Ricky just drank ice cold water out of a Stella Artois glass. That was really funny. I was like, wow, you have the biggest cup of vodka. Thank God. No, but it's kind of funny that again, we talked about this just like 2 days ago. I swear to God, I have to start a movie blog so I can write about Obsession, or I need to pitch a magazine that will pay me to write about Obsession. I'm sick of fucking hearing about it everywhere I turn. But I hope, by God, by the time this episode comes out, it's over. So
when I first saw it, I mean, we talked about it. I liked it, right? We talked before.
We can't relitigate it for the
I'm
seventh time.
not relitigating, but I do want to mention just the comments around it. Like the conversation around it hasn't like changed at all. It's just people like.
No, it's just intensified.
Yeah.
Or, like, coming in waves again.
I don't even think it's intensive. Like, nobody's saying anything interesting or anything. It's just, like, people... Like, every, like, fan theory is just like, oh, actually, she was possessed by a demon, and it's the dead cat. It's like, did you watch the film? Like, it's like, what's going on here, guys? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean... It is like that. Like that movie is ripe for those types of like interpretations. Like I messaged you this morning that was like, is the character's name Bear because of the woman will choose the bear meme from a few years ago, and like I don't think that's like means anything in the story. I really think that is a product of a 25-year-old or whatever like writing like a very basic kind of like stupid joke into a movie. I think is probably or that his name is Barron and he's supposed to represent Trump's son. I don't know, but like
I mean I feel like it'd be stupid, a little bit of both, right? Or he just knew a guy named Barron and he was like, this guy's a fucking piece of shit, you know? Like it's just like, all right, like sure,
right. But yeah, the fact that it's taken like 5 or 6 or so years for like I don't know, like what I would call like prestige horror, what people consider prestige horror, to like kind of die out, and we're in this like kind of, I don't want to say gonzo horror, but like we're in a weird horror period right now. Like we're in a strange, like we're hearing the death throes of like Scream, and like the Exorcist reboot totally was a fucking flash in the pan, and the Halloween movie trilogy that they did, like that sucked and went nowhere. Like, so we're kind of seeing these like legacy series die away in favor of these like kind of, again, auteur driven, like, whatever, like really, I want to say like gonzo, like I feel like the Terrifier movies are kind of part of that, but like it all comes back to Hereditary, man.
Yeah.
Like the like the head squishing. I just keep thinking about like how many heads I've seen squished, and like how many like really gruesome, brutal, like head bashing beyond the point of it being comical and like wrapping back around to being gruesome, where it's like, okay, you bash a head 3 times, it's gruesome. You do it 10 times, it's funny. You do it 20 times, it's gruesome again. Mm-hmm. And I feel like every movie does it now. Yeah. Like every movie has a squished head. And
dude, Begonia had it. Yeah. That was, I mean,
That's true. Yeah. Begonia did. Well, Begonia had a bashed pop. Head. Yeah, it feels like it feels like a it's like such a specific thing to be happening, is like brutal violence against the head repeatedly. Yeah. Like it's just like it's such a weird specific trend, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, but like so the fact that we're in this like auteur driven, with kind of started with Ari Aster, Jordan Peele even came a little bit before that, and then like we saw what's his face, Zach Kreger, and now we're in this like the YouTubers and whatever. Like, it feels like we're in a weird period that it's kind of lacking in identity. It's just kind of more about, like, it's almost like a new age, or like a new Hollywood.
Yeah, it's, so, I mean, I feel like now people are really desperate for something new, like new to like latch onto, right? Because it's just like endless reboots, and like, I mean, like you talked about with like the horror films sort of like dying out, right? What, 3 or 4 of those were, I mean, Halloween, Scary Movie, Terrifier series?
Scream, but
Scream?
yeah.
Oh,
The Exorcist.
Scream, yeah.
Terrifier is kind of different in that it's a newer franchise. Yeah. It's not a franchise from like the 80s, but it's still on like the 3rd or 4th movie at this point.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah. And that's a movie that's like, signature is like extremely brutal violence. So, and like head squishing, like, you know, that kind of thing happened, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But it is kind of funny that we're in that, like you said, we're at the end of the superhero period and like what comes next.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a time it almost feels like a lot of other popular cinema is like being superhero-fied in a way. Like, I think of like Project Hail Mary, and don't come for me, listeners, watchers of this show, but Everything Everywhere All at Once. So
I think what you're identifying is the Reddit behind it, right? So like,
yeah, or like the like nerd cringe,
yes,
or like whatever you would want to call
it.
Like,
yeah, the Funko Popification.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, because like, I mean, I think, and it's kind of interesting because I feel like the same thing happened to superhero movies, where like there were some superhero movies that like originally came out. Like, I liked the first Iron Man a lot. I thought Iron Man really 1 cool.
Is great.
That's a really
we went to the same. We went to the same example.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Well, I mean, that was just it's one that comes off the top of the head that's had many like bad successors, right? But like the first movie was really like surprisingly good. So much so that I can't even like. I think the movies that came after it, like Captain America, Thor, like don't really hit the same notes. And like it's like as they get like more and more, as more of them come out, they get more like formulaic, and more like not even like following a formula, but just like needing to have certain elements in order to like be able to be commodified, right? And it's like okay, wow, cool.
Which is pretty formulaic.
Yeah, that is formulaic. I guess that is kind of definition. Yeah, formulaic. Yeah.
I kind of want to revisit Thor, because you know who directed Thor?
Who?
The first one. The very first one.
Yeah, who?
Ken Branagh.
Yo, interesting.
Yeah. I haven't watched it. I imagine it's bad, because he's not afraid to make a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, he'll make a bad movie. But, like, I kind of am like, is there anything there? Is there something good there? Because, like, that's the one Natalie Portman's in, right?
Yeah.
Like, right?
I vaguely remember... So, the only scenes I really remember from it are... the big dude, Thor, like drinking, like,
that's him.
Yeah, him, just like chugging beer and like dropping it on the ground. Yeah.
Going, another,
yes.
memes.
That's it. Yeah. I do remember the second movie actually being like kind of decent, like Dark World. I was like, oh shit, there's some like shit going here.
One,
yeah.
Right?
That one was pretty cool, but I don't remember anything about it, so it's like tough for me to really say like, oh yeah, it was like good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's so fucking many of them.
Yeah.
This is the TVification of movies is, you know, just it's almost 100% attributable to superheroes and the moviefication of TV. Anyway.
Yeah. But they do kind of like pull at each other, right? Like they're kind of tied. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Supergirl because I liked Superman that came out last year.
Yeah, how was Supergirl?
And like bad. The movie fucking reeks.
Like,
the movie's
bad.
like take it out in the trash. Yeah. It's tough. Make a separate trash run for it. That bad. And it was just like, again, it was just so formulaic and slop. Like I hate using that phrase, but like it was made to use about Supergirl.
Yeah.
The phrase slop. So yeah, it does feel like we're in the death knell, but I don't know. We'll see how Doomsday goes in December. I hope Dune 3 just fucking destroys it. Just blows it out of the water, but we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how those trends continue to go, but also to see, is there anything else in the vacuum, you know, like what rises to the
what fills
occasion,
that? Yeah.
You know?
Especially in terms of like large genres, you know? Like will there be a cohesive like front, you know? I think it's a
well, and will it be good? Like, will it be good for the culture?
Yeah,
like someday we'll look up like the best performing or like highest performing movies of like certain years. We should do that from like 30 or 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Because like like adult movies for adults used to be like the number one movie of the year.
Yeah.
Like big, and like it feels like we don't have that. And I know that I sound like a cranky old person now, and I don't necessarily begrudge that Toy Story 5 or whatever the fuck is going to be number one, but like it would be nice if there was something that, we could have these like adult movies with adult themes that didn't have to be like kind of hit the 4-quadrant thing by like putting in stupid meme humor like Project Hail Mary did or whatever, or Everything Everywhere. Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. And it's also like, I feel like even when we were kids, like say 20 years ago, right? Like I know a lot of friends were like taken to movies that they like shouldn't have gone to because they were like, just like not like super adult, but like just like made for adults or whatever. And like I feel like that's kind of a good thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's good to make your kids watch something that's going to challenge them.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you this. What do you think Begonia, just because you brought it up not too long ago, what do you think Begonia made box office?
Ooh, can I ask?
For its whole
can I ask how
worldwide.
Much the budget was?
This is just from Wikipedia. The budget is 45-ish million.
Oh wow. Because that's what I was thinking. Box office was around 40 million. I was thinking budget would have been around 20. I don't think the movie made any money, but I'll say like 40 million, maybe 35.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close. So 43.7 million is the amount according to Wikipedia. Now let me ask you this: what do you think Fiddler on the Roof made? A 3-hour musical, drama about like a life in the shtetl. Like, what do you,
I mean, I have it open, right?
Okay.
And it made 83.3 million for the watchers at home.
Unadjusted for inflation too. So it's probably like 200 million or something,
right around there,
in today's money. So like people, and Fiddler on the Roof, not exactly the most like somber whatever adult movie out there, but like a movie for adults at least.
Yes, yeah. And, well, a movie you're not going to bring a kid to.
Yeah.
You can't have a kid sit through a 3-hour film, right? Like,
you would have a tough one. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, just crazy to conceive of. We should look at like the 80s, especially some of the 80s movies that were like really, they made a lot of money. You're like, oh wow, this was like this made people cry, like, and kids weren't allowed to go see it, and it still made like $300 million worldwide. Like, what are we doing? Now we can't even get people to make movies can't even make like 10 million anymore. Yeah. Like, that's a feat for some movies.
I think part of that is also, it's like, it used to be a little bit more cultural to go to a movie and then, like, to be able to talk to people about it immediately afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And now, just because of social media, it's so easy to see what, like, so many other people say about it. Like, on opening night, it's like, you can, I think disincentivizes people a decent bit, at least from seeing it, like opening weekend, right? Like, because they're like, oh, well, I'll see what other people have to say about it. So I think that drives down box office a lot. And then, added on to that is, like, it's very easy to say, oh, certain people that I don't like that movie a lot. Or, like, I just think the fans of it are annoying, so, like, I'm not going to go watch it. It's like, okay, like, sure, but it might be something that you would really like, and now you're just not going to see it at all. It's like, okay, but...
I don't even begrudge people that, like...
No, I mean, that's fair.
They're also not going to see something else. Like,
right.
There's always...
Yeah.
Always going to be at least 4 to 6 movies in your local multiplex, or if you have a single, whatever, like a single theater, it's going to be something, and it's going to change every couple weeks, so it's like the people who like it's like, well, did you go see, whatever, like other small movies? I mean, I'm saying this and I'm like, what did I just go see? And I saw the Jackass movie and Supergirl.
Hell yeah.
Like,
dude.
Yeah.
So,
there's stuff playing.
Yeah.
I saw The Death of Robin Hood yesterday and Leviticus. 2 movies that probably neither of them made more than, I don't know, 20 million, I would guess.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty sick. I just want to mention Jackass. It's had a resurgence recently, especially online, with the new movie, I guess. Rightfully. And so I've told you before, I haven't seen any of them. I have, within the last couple of days, seen so many fucking clips from that show now. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking close to having seen it all at this point. Yeah. And there's some pretty fucking funny shit, man.
That movie, they're great. They're they're cultural touchstones. They're like gems of America. Like Johnny Knoxville is a treasure.
Yeah.
It's great.
The one I keep going back to, I think it's Knoxville, fighting Butterbean, and like, dude beats the fuck out of him in like a mall, like, it's like the perfume department of like a shopping mall. And he's just like wailing on him. Dude, he like falls into, you know where they've got like the watches and like jewelry and stuff? He like falls into like that area. Dude.
The early Jackass stuff, like when they would just like go in public and wild out, is unmatched reality TV. Like there's never been reality TV as good as that.
He had told him, he was like, hey, this isn't like a regular movie, so you actually like have to like hit me and like just really go for it. He was like, yeah. I got you. And then like they went and got changed, and then when they got back to set, he was like trying to joke around with him. And like he talked about this in the interview afterwards. He was like, yeah, I was like trying to joke around with him. He didn't say anything to me. Like, just stone cold locked in, and I knew I was fucked. And it's like, it's so funny.
I'm just looking it up.
Yeah, watch it real quick, because like, Butterbean beats the shit out of it.
I've seen it, but I'm watching it again.
And then he's like, come on, man, at least, like, hit me once. The weakest punch ever gets thrown, and he just fucking slams him into the ground, bro.
So good. It's so funny.
Good. And then
the new Jackass, good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun movie. It's got all the good clips. Like it's a retrospective, so it does.
Yeah, I've heard it's got like best of.
Like, yeah. And it's sweet. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen these guys' buttholes grow throughout the years. Like, it's great. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know how much that movie will make, but there's always stuff playing. I something I'm doing with my fun employment era is I'm trying to go to the movies 4 times a week according to my AMC, because I have the A-list, which everybody knows, because every time I go to the movies with somebody and the ad plays where they're like, and thank you to our members, and a special thank you to our AMC Stubbs A-list, and everybody looks at me and points.
Do you like get up? Do you have to do a a little bow just to make sure? Yeah.
I do a little hair flip usually.
Yeah, the Debbie Ryan.
Like, it's yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of go and push myself to use the full 4 credits every week, just to not only to justify the price, but also to maybe challenge myself to see stuff I might otherwise not. Because there are more movies in theaters than I could see with just 4 a week even. Yeah. So there's always something. But anyway, Fiddler on the Roof. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Holy shit, we're 40 minutes in.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We're like just starting it. Like, let's go.
Oops. I didn't love this. I liked it.
I sort of figured by your comments earlier. Yeah.
I was really into it until the wedding. And then after the wedding, all the air got sucked out of it, because I was like, I know we're just going to see the same 3 things now, or the same events happen 2 more times, basically.
Yeah.
And the only dramatic tension then is with what's going on with, like, the pogrom that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that kind of doesn't land. I don't know. I feel like a dick. But I kind of was, like, waiting for... Not that I wanted to see something, like, horrible happen, but, like, it just kind of fizzled out, and I didn't find the resolution very satisfying. And so I kind of was just like, all right, we're just going to get through the next hour and a half, because this movie does have an intermission at a weird spot.
It does.
So I don't know. Yeah.
What did you think of, like, the scene of Hodel leaving his second daughter?
At the end, or the bus part?
The train.
Like
the train.
When they go to the bus or train.
Yeah.
Not the bus. In the 1800s or early 1900s. She hops on the ground. No, I thought that was good. That was definitely one of the high points of the back half.
The back half, yeah.
Is that piece. But
I would say that's the high point
of the
back half, for me at least.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm trying to think if there's anything better. I don't think so. The like little love story between the youngest daughter and the Gentile, like, I was like, I mean, this is weird. At least they're closer in age than some of the others. Like some of these guys are, they're like, oh, he's 60. Like, you don't want him. You want this guy who's 30? Like...
They were, so, like, I was a little worried about this movie because, like, I mean, like you said, it's pretty obvious from the beginning, like, where it's going. But it's really tongue in cheek in the beginning about that, like, this sort of like social problems there, where they're like, oh, well, you know, at least he's not 60. Like, and they're like, well, and even if he is, he won't be there long. Like, they're sort of like ribbing each other about it. I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's kind of funny. Because it seems like they understand that their traditions are maybe a bit silly at times, and like it can lead to sort of like these, you know, unoptimal outcomes.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, there's a movie that we watched that it didn't have the same vibe. Like, this has a much more upbeat vibe. I would say the vibe of this movie is closer to the second half, but I think the sort of the social issues being addressed and like the like staunch tradition and like having others come in and sort of shake things up a bit is like really exemplified in another movie we watched by an Iranian director.
Oh, you're thinking of No Bears.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I see that. I can definitely see that. Much more serious movie, No Bears. But
yes.
Yeah. I can see what you mean. Like the how does tradition? What does it mean to follow tradition, and you know, how do you acknowledge when change is coming even against your wishes? Or I can totally see that.
And how does that sort of stifle the new generation, right? Or cause schisms between the new and the old generation, you know?
Yeah.
And especially with, like, I mean, it's a story of lovers where, you know, the one that she's promised to, right, is turned away for, you know, a guy that, like, she actually likes, and then they get angry about it. And I mean, I think this movie, it's handled a little bit better. I mean, the characters handle it better, not like the source material, not the material is handled better, right? But
I hear you. Yeah, it is. I mean, there's it's not a happy ending necessarily, but at least it's not an ending where there's like ruin and death and destruction. Although with you know, is it Shava and Fiedka that end up going to Krakow? That they're going to Poland, which, like, well, that kind of sucks. That's not going to go well for them necessarily. Maybe they'll move again. But it isn't complete. It's a bittersweet ending in a way.
Yes, very much so. I mean, all of them have to leave their homes, you know, and it's obviously like I mean, I'll say like the overall like vibe of the film, like the way that it progresses through, kind of feels similar to Cabaret, except for the fact that like they have this like somber half hour at the end, right, where they were like, it's like, oh, okay, like yes, like they had all this fun, and like, I mean, there's a few scenes where like the rabbis are like, oh, like, why do you always bring us bad news of the outside world? You know, why can you not buy us a paper that brings us only good news? You know, and it's, they try to bury their heads in the sand, but it's like, well, eventually it shows up at your door, and you know, what happens then? Yeah,
that it's not just social progress happening, but also political change or political turmoil that's coming and finding them. Yeah, they're nice, or like, it's smart kind of positioning of those two themes against each other, but then I kind of find it's just a long fucking movie.
It is a long
But I also find
movie.
that the ending is not, it's not quite, like the fact that Tevye at the end is like, God be with you, and it's just like this kind of like quiet moment, and then what's her face, the oldest daughter, kind of like shouts it a little bit more excitedly at the end toward Shava, and it's like, I don't know. I was hoping for something just a little bit more triumphant or a little bit more affirming. Mm-hmm. It just instead feels just sad. And like,
it is,
with this movie seems to be like, it opens with a thesis statement of like, what the Fiddler on the Roof being like an allegory for like trying to keep your balance while you're kind of marching along in life. Mm-hmm. Like, that's such a hopeful kind of optimistic, or like, you know, happy-go-lucky almost like way of thinking, that the ending feels a lot, it's very downtrodden, and I don't know if that's how the show, like the stage show, is supposed to be. I get the sense that the stage show has to be very different than this movie. This movie all shot on like location, maybe not like the plot, but like the tone.
I mean, that's what. Yeah,
because this movie's so brown. There's never been a movie that's more brown than
Yeah.
this
Oh,
movie. And like burnt orange and
yeah.
gray and
Mauve.
like, especially toward the end. Yeah, yeah. And so, I imagine on stage they had to do things a little bit differently because you couldn't literally put dirt and shit on the stage.
You're not gonna just paint everything burnt umber and call it a day?
Yeah, ochre.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. This movie just has this, I think, kind of like, yeah, I mean, the subtitle or like tagline is "To Life," which is the song. So,
Time.
I don't know.
Time, right?
Yeah.
Time.
So, yes. So I don't know. It feels weird that it ends on such a kind of a bummer kind of slog of an ending. Like the last half hour just seems.
Yes,
again, I get that the movie should go that way, but it doesn't have like a devastating ending.
Right.
Not necessarily because of what happens, but because of the tone. It's just kind of like sad and bittersweet, and it just feels weird. I almost wish something like there was a bigger ending in general.
Yeah. I mean, I think with the idea of like, going back to the Fiddler on the Roof analogy, right, where it's like, well, you're trying to keep your balance throughout life. I think the end just sort of like underscores like, this guy's life gets turned upside down, right? His 3 daughters all married off. He's like, geez, it's like so much is happening to him personally, right? Where he's like, I've got all these things, like all of these problems, all of this is happening to me, and then it's like, like I have to leave my home, and it's like, but it's not just him, right? It's everyone, and it's like, I mean, I think it's interesting how like they sort of play where it's like yeah, he like there's a lot of challenges that he already has to face, like, and he's like, like I'm poor, so that's fine, like I accept my lot in life, like I gotta do what I gotta do, I'm playing the cards that I'm dealt, whatever, and like he sort of faces this like ousting from his home, and it like the same, not even stoic, because it is obviously still emotional, like obviously doesn't want to leave, but
resolute.
Resolute is a great way to put it, manner, and then the sort of like the he's like nodding to the guy at the end. He's like, "Hey, come on,
Fiddler."
Like, and they the Fiddler follows behind the family. It's like he's like, well, like we'll muddle through, right?
Yeah.
I was just because even when they're talking to everybody, like everybody's still acting the same, right? Like the rumor mill lady who like comes by and she's like, and I have all this news to tell you. She comes by at the end and she's like, and listen, I just have so much news, I'm overburdened, I gotta tell it to you. She's great. The butcher, like he comes by and they have like a real sort of like there's that awkward combo, and then he's like, all right, like but
the fucking, since you brought up the butcher,
the butcher,
the eyebrows on that man, that shit is so crazy. He like could feed the town with like livestock feeding off of his eyebrows. Like they could graze. It's crazy. They're nuts.
The freeze frame of his face where he's got like the wide
he's super close. Which I loved that.
That was great.
Tevye, every time Tevye is like and is shown in this like stark distance from the person, and he's like, on the one hand, but on the other hand, he does it like 6 times. I do like that. Every time he talks to the camera, or like when he's talking to God, and he's like, why are you doing this to me over and over? Like, can't you pick somebody else? I do like that stuff. That character is extremely likable. All of the characters in this are very likable. Some of them better fleshed out than others, but like everyone is such a recognizable kind of like archetype that you instantly lock it and you're charmed. There's no one that you're like, oh, I hate seeing this person on screen.
No, get this guy off the screens. Like, at least for me, like, none of them.
Yeah. But Tevye in particular. So that's what makes the ending, where he's just kind of like, again, resolute and not really saying much, feel kind of like a bummer or a missed opportunity.
I feel like it's the whole sort of like, oh, like, God, why are you doing this to me? But at this point, he's like, because it's not like, God, why are you doing this to me? It's like, God, why is this happening? And they have like a couple lines of dialogue where like someone says like, I don't know. I think it's between him and the Russian general guy or whatever. It's like
possible or
It's like, I wish like powers would stop like making trouble or whatever. Essentially, like because like the guy's obviously like, listen, like, I don't want to kick you out. Like, I don't think you're bad people. Yada yada. Me. It's not on me, right. But you do have to leave. And it's like, it's tough, He's such an interesting character. Like, I don't know. It's so...
The constable?
Yeah.
Tevye.
The constable. Yeah. Like, the fact that he, like, warns Tevye, and, like, it seems like they have, like, a kind of, like, interesting relationship. Like, where they're at least, like, you know...
Yeah, they're kind of, like, friendly, or...
Yeah, and, like, the constable fucks with him, because he's like, listen, man, like, some shit might be going down, I just want to let you know it's nothing personal, right? Like, but, kinda gotta... Yeah. And, like, Tevye's like...
Sure.
Like, that conversation where he's drunk, and, like, he tells him that, and it's like, his world is, like... He doesn't know, like, how to respond to it, right? He's like, listen, like, I'm marrying my daughter off, like, why even mention this to me, sort of thing, like why bring this bad news to me? Yeah, I don't know. I just...
No, you... Go ahead.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting, like... It is very much so that last half hour is like, okay, well, like, you can't ignore it anymore, so, like... You know, like, war's on your doorstep, and it's like, oh, man, it sucks.
Yeah. It's almost, like, too superficial. And this might be a problem with the stage play, and not so much the movie. Just, like, if the story kind of goes in this, like, very, like, portraying the officer as, like, you know, just, like, kind of a sympathetic character, or, you know, like, yeah, having him... you know, kind of have this, like, resolute acceptance at the end. Like, all of that might be a little bit just, like, sanitized. Mm-hmm. And with this, you know, play coming out in the 60s and this movie coming out in the early 70s, you know, there is kind of, like, a level of, like, is this, you know, kind of, like, culturally insensitive almost? Or, like, is this, like, a sanitized kind of, or not even sanitized isn't the right word, but I'm trying to think of, like, what...
Lightly rinsed.
Like a, like... Yeah. Or whitewashed, I guess.
Yeah,
not. I don't mean that, like, racially necessarily, but maybe. But yeah, because, like, it is kind of a... I think this is, like, a very famous Jewish text.
Yeah.
Even though it seems to be written by, like, two just Americans. I don't know if they're necessarily Jewish. I didn't look that closely, but, like, I was surprised that these weren't written by... Or that this wasn't, like, written by, like, a Russian Jew. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I mean, yeah. Just, it could be problems with the source material, and I do think it's like a beautiful movie, for the most part. Sometimes I'm like, you're all dancing and singing, and you're doing this crazy choreography, but you keep cutting. Let me see. Let it play out in a long shot. Let me see what's going on. You know, this is fun, and some of the editing is, like, keeping that rhythm, but, like, it does feel like there's almost, like, a fear of showing too much action, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they hit their pace really well with, like, the wedding, right? Like, that has some,
the
like...
wedding's great.
Yeah, some much nicer, longer shots, a lot of, like, coordinated sort of dancing stuff. The Dream! Oh, yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that's fun.
Like, around that point in the movie, they really do hit their stride, like, an hour and a half in, and, like, it's great, and, like, it's super engaging for that, like, half hour before you hit the intermission, and then...
Yeah.
And then the back half is a little bit slower, but we get that, like, you know, when he's sending his one daughter off to what is essentially a prison, and he's, like, trying to, like, make light of it, right? And he's like, well,
yeah,
I'm sure they arrested some rabbis too, huh? And it's like, it's...
Yeah.
And, like, you know, you want to talk about muddling through, that's as muddled as you're gonna get, right? Like, it's tough,
True.
You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, tell me more about the songs, or the kind of musical numbers. We talked about the Dream, which isn't... I mean, it's a musical number, they're singing in it, but a little different than some of the others. But so, you knew a lot of these songs?
I knew a couple of them, at least. Like, I mean, Tradition, Matchmaker, Rich Man, like we talked about, Sunrise, Sunset. I guess that's pretty much it, but, like, a lot of the other ones are maybe a little bit too specific to this movie to, like, really, I guess, extrapolate out too often. Yeah.
Well, that's what's so... I feel like this is a common thing in musicals. Now, again, I'm not a scholar of musicals, but I feel like a lot of musicals, all the good stuff's in the first act. And then after the intermissions, all the, like, sad or boring songs that no one remembers. Like, the first half of this is, like, Tradition, Matchmaker, If I Were a Rich Man, To Life, Miracle of Miracles, which is really catchy, even though it's not necessarily famous.
Yeah.
The Dream sequence, and then Sunrise, Sunset. And then after that, I don't think there's anything else, like, super memorable. Is that crazy? Like, I don't know, the Do You Love Me little bit between Tevye and Golden is
that was cute, but not a memorable song.
But not like a catchy. Yeah.
Or, I should say it's the most memorable song of the back half. But you're right, it's not very catchy, and it's like it's just not one that you would like walk around humming. Yeah, it is cute though. That's such a cute scene, and she's like, I've washed your clothes, I've cleaned your house, 25 fucking years. And she's like, and you're gonna ask me this now? Like what?
What do you care? Yeah.
Which I think is like an interesting commentary on that, right? Like it's this guy whose life is fully steeped in tradition. Is
well. And it's a great kind of like circling back to the beginning song of Matchmaker, because it's, that's the fate that these girls could have been kind of like beholden to, of like, maybe you love him, maybe you don't, maybe, like you're kind of left to a terrible existence. Yeah. The thought of like being forced to marry, like that just always gets under my skin. Like the thought that the fact that we did and do that to young girls is so horrifying that they have no choice in, especially, And
at least for me, the idea that I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the matchmaker thing. When they were like doing their little song at the end, like they mentioned that they hadn't seen each other until that day. Like that's crazy. Yeah. Like what the fuck are you talking about, man? Yeah, I like kind of like I've heard interesting defenses of arranged marriage that like it can be a participatory process, and there can be like kind of like negotiation, and that the parties involved can be can have a hand in it. Monsoon Wedding comes to mind a little bit. That's what I was kind of thinking about. But at the same time, it is like in these types of contexts where it's like, well, there's a very strong patriarchal presence or like power here, kind of consolidated, and the women are not necessarily given the luxury of having any negotiating. Here, it's a little bit lax, but it's a movie. Yeah, and I mean, I also think that it's like just power dynamics, right? Where it's like the main reason why he's pretty okay with his daughter marrying, like, even though he's, like, much older, he's like, well, she'll never be hungry. Like, that's, like, his first thought, right? It's like, well, like, and it is, like, it is one of those things where it's like, well, I want the best for her, but the best being, like, she's not dead, essentially, right? It's like, well, it's fine if she's miserable and hates her life, and, like, it's like, okay, whatever, as long as she can eat, right? But then, like, I feel like, later on in the film, after they get married, he says the one line, they're so in love with each other they can't even see how miserable they are. And it's like, oh, that's so cute. It's so, and I feel like that sort of, I don't know, like anneals the steal a bit, where he's like, oh, alright, like, sure, I guess the other two, if they are to be wed, it should be to someone that they like, I guess, right? He's like, fine, know. It's like, okay. Are there matchmakers today? There are. Right? There have to be. That's very popular in, like, the San Francisco area now. Yeah, like, very, very affluent people. Because it's, I mean, there's the idea, I mean, there's, like, what, Raya or whatever, the millionaire fucking, well, that's like Tinder, but for celebrities, but celebrities and millionaires or whatever. But it's... Same as Tinder. Yeah, right. But, there are, like, professional matchmakers, like, who essentially are doing the same thing, but, they just have clients who are, like, they're vetting very hard. But, like, I mean, their clients are, like, men and women, right? Who are, very often, they just have so much money. Like, and by so much money, I don't know, I don't mean, like, millions, but even once you get into, like, to, like, a certain tax bracket, it's tough to, like, go out with someone new and, like, try to gauge how much is this person interested in me just for that, right? Sure. So there are services for that, and they get into that sort of stuff. I guess I'm thinking more of, like, if I'm thinking, sure, like, upper echelon, like, whatever kind of stuff, but I'm even thinking of, like, lower classes, like, because, the role that the matchmaker plays here is very much just, like, finding suitable partners for the people in the village. Yeah. Regardless of wealth and status, or, like, that's a factor, but not, it's not like it's only for the wealthy. So it's kind of, it's interesting. I'm sure that it exists in certain, probably, cultural contexts. But I was going to say, Asian salon aunties are known as, like, the matchmakers. Sure. Yeah. True. I don't know. I don't want to be racist with that, but, like, I don't know. That's yeah. No, I mean, I've definitely heard friends talk about, like, relatives playing matchmaker. And so on. I think that is And I think it is definitely like a big cultural thing.
But this is like her job.
Like, yeah. I don't know if there's a job.
Movie,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there are still people who have that as a job,
yeah.
right? But it's only for like higher class. And also, like, I think the thing here is that like for the lower class, right? Like it's not needed anymore because she's not like vetting, right? She's just like, oh yeah, well he's a good man, but it's like, yeah, everybody fucking knows that. They live in the village together. Of course they know he's a good man, right? So
There's
she's
like 10 people.
Yeah. So she's like, well, he's a good man. He's only 3 times her age. It's like, well, it's like, okay,
yeah. I just think maybe we should have that instead of the apps. I have heard like 3 people in the last few weeks talk about getting back on the apps, and I'm like, we need to. I can't deal with it.
My friends have been telling me to get back on the apps, and I'm like, I'd rather kill my. No, I'm not going to do that, but I'd rather just walk outside. I come from
that. I don't know. I probably need to build in some empathy. This is a me problem a little bit of being like, well, I'm extroverted and hot and have never had a problem making friends or getting laid. So it's like, maybe it's different if you're not those things. But I don't know. At some point you have to, like, you can't just rely on your phone to do it, right? We need a matchmaker. We need somebody. This is why it's important to have the friend in the friend group who's like, I think so-and-so is into you. Like, I think that's such an important thing that you gotta play.
I have never seen that go well, is what I'll say. Like, friend group matchmakers?
I've definitely gotten...
all right.
I've gotten friends, not ones that you know, but yes,
that's
I have...
Yeah.
I've successfully orchestrated at least successful hookups and some short, relationship dances.
Wow, that's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's the apps seem horrible. I think even if, like, again, I'm coming from maybe a place of privilege here, but I think even if like Christopher and I stopped seeing each other, I would be like, the last thing I would want to do is like get on a goddamn app about it. I don't know.
So the apps are really interesting. I saw somebody talk about like the difference, or like the biggest problems are that like both sides are getting like the opposite of what they want from the apps, right? Like,
sure.
Because like for men, it's like mostly a slog of like, okay, well, like these women get millions of, not millions of matches, but like these women are getting like tons of matches, and it's like, okay, well, how do you stand out without being like weird, right? It's like, that's kind of tough. So like for the most part, you either just don't, or like you try to like, I don't know, like fit a certain niche or whatever. And then like from the woman's side, they're just fucking overwhelmed with people. Like, how do you sift through like literally hundreds of fucking matches like within a day? It's like, all right, well, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Like, I think it's just tough for both sides. Yeah.
It's ineffective.
Yeah.
Sucks. Yeah. Everyone just needs to go to the bar. They just need to go to the nightclub. It's fine. Like 50 Cent said, find me in the club.
I feel like
the club.
I feel like you would know so much more about a person. And you know what? This is crazy because I feel like I'm just reinventing speed dating here. But like, you can learn so much more about someone from like talking to them for 3 minutes. Like, if you sat down and talked to someone for 3 minutes straight, you would know more than like fucking texting for like a week, right? Like,
you don't even have to go speed dating. You can just like talk to someone at a bar for 3 minutes, and then if it sucks, you can walk away.
Yeah, you just walk away. Yeah.
Like,
tougher for men. A little tougher for men, but it's,
Do you think so?
Well, I think it depends on their personality, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you have an ass personality, then no app is going to help you. But, I don't... Like,
I think if you have an ass personality, the apps help you more in some ways. I don't know. Because it's easy to fake it.
But then, I mean, you're not going to be able to fake it in person. You know what I mean? Like, you're eventually going to crash and burn about it.
Right, anyway. Right, yeah.
But yes, I
think people with those... at least with certain shitty personalities, are not looking for like anything longer term. So it's like
long term.
So they can sort of like pull the wool, and they can just keep doing that. And like it's like it's a very common complaint I hear from a lot of my friends. I don't know. Anyway,
I feel like a lot of dudes probably are more like, there are more dudes that are like sad sack, like woe is me entitled types than there are like I just want to fuck everything that move types on the apps. Like, I don't think that you're running into... Like, I imagine there's more of the... Like, and there's also a secret third group of, like, normal, well-adjusted guys who are looking for a real relationship. Like, whatever, disclaimer. But
what the fuck are you talking
Ricky's
about?
shaking his head. You made that shit up, yeah. Yeah. Ricky's like, as a firm guy who just wants to sleep with everything that moves.
Does have a pulse?
Yeah, right. Does it have a pulse? Well, yeah, right. I don't know. I go to the, like, I'm not seeking, but there's a sapphic happy hour near me that I've been making a point to go to. Mm-hmm. It's not supposed to be a dating event. It is supposed to be, kind of casual, whatever happy hour. You can go, you can network and just make friends, or you can, whatever, you can hook up and dance. And like, every time I go, people, like, I often go alone. I have no shame about, like, going to a club and just, like, hanging out. And, like, there's so many people who are, like, they'll keep to themselves the whole night and, like, go on their phone and not dance or not, and I'm like, why are you here? Like, you can't, you want someone to do all of the lift, like, the extroverts have it so hard. Yeah. They're carrying this shit.
Well, because they're the ones that have to approach, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah. Yeah, extroverts' rights.
Most persecuted class.
We are.
Introverts just get to go, actually, I don't like being around people. I'm going to go home and read a book. Fuck you, buddy.
Please do.
Go get a beer. Go. Get a beer and fucking lift your shirts. Get it here. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, Fiddler on the Roof. I mentioned that there are other Norman Jewison movies that we could cover someday. I have seen a couple movies from this director, but none super recently. I had seen Moonstruck, In the Heat of the Night, and Justice for All. 3 movies that are pretty famous, but none that I think you would know.
No, yeah.
Necessarily. I think you might recognize scenes from all of these movies, even if you don't necessarily know the movies.
Yeah.
Kind of an eclectic
filmography.
Assortment.
Yeah.
He also did The Thomas Crown Affair. He did Rollerball, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, just like lots of, and then The Hurricane, which is the boxing movie I talked about with Denzel. I talked about that last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has like a pretty strange and varied filmography. Be interesting to cover. I couldn't place like a specific style or like signature look based on any of these movies.
Interesting.
I mean, long career too. Like In the Heat of the Night is from the 60s, and I feel like his last movie is from the late 90s, if not
2003. The Statement.
Yeah. Pretty crazy to have a career go that long.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But
I mean, also to not like be super conformed to like one genre or like one sort of like style of filmmaking. Cool. Yeah. Because we talked before about like different filmmakers having their sort of like thumbprint that you can sort of like pick up on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to see more by him. I like this one, and like, I mean, obviously I like this one. I think a part of it is like the play-like features of it, because I love any movie that sort of like reads like a play, and this one obviously does. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested to watch more. Huh.
Of his movies, you should watch Moonstruck. Moonstruck is really good. Moonstruck is like Cher and Nicolas Cage being fucking nutso, gutso, butso, like way nuts.
Yeah.
That's a good fun movie.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever seen Yentl?
Yentl? No.
Yentl. That's a Barbra Streisand movie from probably like a decade after this movie came out.
Yeah.
I couldn't help. It's also a musical, kind of takes place in the same time period in Poland, and is about kind of similar stuff, like in part
tradition.
It's a musical basically about a girl who like disguises herself, like she pretends to be a man so that she can like study, like she can get an education, and it's a really cool musical with like some really interesting themes and a lot more transgressive, I think, than this one. And I feel kind of simplistic comparing the two, but I was like, man, Yentl's really good. Yentl has the juice in a way that Fiddler on the Roof, I think, does not necessarily. Yentl has a great ending.
You're caught up on this fucking ending, bro. You're like...
I just like the ending. It's just like, I don't know. It just kind of lets all the air out of the room. You know? Like a balloon fizzling out. That was my bad balloon sound.
No, that was a good balloon sound.
Yeah. There. Is that better? I'm sure the mic sounds great.
Not bad. No, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but like, I don't know.
I'm strong.
You're not just wrong, but in many ways it's the same complaint that I have with Nightcrawler, right? Where I'm like, oh, like, there needs to be a big final act where, like, he gets, like, where retribution, like, he gets what's coming to him. It's like, alright, like, this movie, it's like, oh, there needs to be some, like, big final act so that, like, we get resolution on anything that's happening here. And it's like, nope. Like...
I guess just it feels so tonally inconsistent with the front half of the movie that it doesn't, it feels strange. Like, Nightcrawler, like, that movie's very, if nothing else, very consistent.
It's very consistent in tone, yeah. I'll give you that, yeah.
So, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I don't even, like, even just, like, a more emotional ending, even if it wasn't, like, a big catastrophic plot thing, even just, like, a little bit more time spent with Tevye, or, like, a little bit more time kind of, like, interrogating that relationship with him and Shava, and, like, that happening, I feel like could have been more interesting, because, like, he basically says, like, you're dead to me, and then that's really it. Like, there's not really, it's just left unresolved or unexplored a little, beyond that.
I mean, you mentioned the God be with you. It's the little, like...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's...
It's unsatisfying.
Yeah, I don't know. That's satisfying to me. It's sad, though, It's like, he's like, well, like, obviously, he still loves him, and he's like, well...
Yeah.
Like, stay safe, right? But, like, how could you do this, It's like, buddy,
Yeah. Seems like a nice enough kid. Seems fine. He's blonde. Whatever. He's, like, the most soft-spoken. He
is very soft-spoken, yeah. And he was also kind to her. It's like, alright, sure. He seems, like, fine. You're like, he's blonde, blue eyes. They might be able to get away. What?
Oh my god, I, like, did not really go deep in this.
I didn't know if my joke was too insane there.
No, sorry. I just, like, my jaw dropped.
I know, that's why I was worried. Huh?
This is crazy. Okay, are you on the Wikipedia
I'm on the Wikipedia page.
Hover over model's actor's name in the cast. Just, like, hover it so you get the picture.
Yeah, what about him? Should I know this guy?
Do you not recognize that guy?
Should I?
Oh my god. He's Harold from The Boys in the Band. The fucking legendary Harold who shows up with, like, 30 minutes of the movie left. That's so crazy. I didn't recognize him.
Wait, they were made within a year of each other. That's nuts. Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, wow. He's great in this.
Yeah.
Wow. That's nuts. That's so nuts. I didn't recognize him at all with the beard. And he is basically covered head to toe in hair. But that's crazy. Whoa. Okay, now I have to go through everyone in the cast and hover and make sure that there's someone else we know. I didn't recognize any other names. I didn't recognize any names.
It's impressive to me that you can, like, place a face like that.
I mean, he looks, in his picture in Wikipedia, he looks just like he does in Boys in the Band.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Other than the little glasses that he's missing. That's so crazy. Wow. I wish I had gotten myself on camera for that reaction. That was
yeah. You're super shocked.
Yeah, that was cool. Anything else we want to say about Fiddler on the Roof? I know it's kind of a shorter episode, but
yeah,
we spent like half of it talking about obsession or whatever.
Yeah, so. This is another movie that
it's more fun to watch.
It's more fun to watch.
It's very immersive and slow.
Very immersive, and it is pretty slow. A lot of it's dialogue that like slowly builds up like events that are happening. And I mean, I think that's great though. You get to like know a lot about all of the characters. Like, you get a really firm understanding of like where all of them are coming from. It's like, well, I mean, I'm not going to say there's no bad guys because there are bad guys, but it's like, well, a lot of it's like, I mean, you guys are all fiddling on your own roofs, right? You know, like I get it, right?
It's true.
You know, we all have our own roofs to fiddle. Just how it goes, I guess. Yeah.
Good movie, worth a watch for sure to hear where all of the music came from at the very least.
Yes, yeah. If for no other reason. Did you? No,
I was thinking. I bet the play is more enjoyable, or I would find the play more enjoyable.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of came away with being like, I would watch this stage show. You know.
No, I mean, it seemed like you really enjoyed like the front half, right?
Yeah. You're like, what if you split it up into 2 watches? Stopped after the intermission.
Although, I mean, no, kind of not bad. No, like, did you like the movie? Do you think it was good, bad, or like what'd you rate it?
I liked it. I thought it was good. I think it's a little bit kind of simplistic. Maybe like this is maybe I don't know. This sounds derogatory or backhanded, but like middlebrow, it's fine. It wasn't like transcendent, but it wasn't, it wasn't like a total slog that sucked. Yeah. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it well enough. I gave it 3.5 stars.
That's fair. That's what I was thinking. From what you were talking about, I was kind of assuming. And I know you're often very sort of strict with your grading guidelines too. So I was like, you know what, even a 3 could have been on the table here. Yeah, I feel like you are.
Am I strict?
Really? Lane, I would be putting 4s and 5s for 80% of these movies, and
so crazy. I guess I feel like if I don't, I feel like I give myself a lot, or I give out a lot of 4 stars. A 4-star to me is like, that's good, that has a scene or two in it that I would revisit, worth watching, would watch again, but like, other than, like, there's so many movies that are like, well, this is okay, or like, this is good, there's nothing wrong with this, but it just doesn't... Yeah, but it's not necessarily something I would like love to watch again or would recommend strongly. And so, I don't know. Yeah. So like a 3.5 is like, that's a good movie. If a movie can get above 3 stars, like that's great. Cause I've seen some shit and like, Supergirl is not getting 3 stars. I'll tell you that.
Oof. Yeah.
So anywho, next week we want to watch The End of the Affair from 1999, directed by Neil Jordan. This movie stars Julianne Moore. I want to watch it because it has Julianne Moore in it. Recent trailer dropped for her movie coming out this year, directed by Jesse Eisenberg, called The Debut. I mentioned this to Ricky off mic, that apparently she's getting some kind of like Oscar buzz, some early Oscar buzz for that movie, that it's supposed to be really good. She looks like she is having a fun time in that movie already. So I was like, let's hit up a Julianne Moore joint that we haven't seen. I wanted to save May, December for a little bit later in the year when we can have August on maybe. But yeah, so instead we're doing The End of the Affair from 1999. Neil Jordan also did a couple movies I've seen that I liked both of. Ray Fiennes also in this movie. So yeah, lots for us to kind of get into and talk about.
Cool. Fun. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Oh, shit.
Huh.
Oh, the original writer of The End of the Affair is also the writer of The Third Man, another movie that we really need to watch someday. You should put that movie at the top of your list. That's the last movie from the posters on my wall that we have not watched.
Okay. Fun.
Good-ass movie. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, The End of the Affair. Plug our show.
Where? What do you mean, here?
I don't know. Yeah, like end the episode, so I don't have to do it.
Oh. Doobish kookanoo. Doobish kookanoo. Fiddler on the roof.
I have no idea what that is.
Fiddler on the roof. It's a silly German song. Doobish kookanoo means, like, you're good enough. And that's just...
It sounds like a techno song?
It is kind of, yeah. Techno's pretty big in Germany. Or I should
techno is big in Germany.
I should say techno is huge in Berlin, and then like decent around the rest of Germany. So my friend moved to Germany recently, specifically Berlin, and he was telling me about it, and like I was sort of like ragging on him about EDC. And he was like, yeah, and he also talks very like German now, and I mean he is German, like his parents are German, so like kind of makes sense, but. He was like, oh yeah, like he does that all the time now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's doing the Bemidji.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to go to visit Minnesota.
Yeah. No, I was just like, dude, so like, have you hit up any nightclubs or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, not much when I am outside Berlin. They are thinking it is childish, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, but what about like when you're in the city? And he's like, yeah, it's fun. And I'm like, alright, cool, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I've heard you speak, like, not like this under 6 months ago. Like, what is happening here?
I get it. It. Just from the amount of time, like, if I was in Frisco or Dallas and was around those people.
Like the syntax just changes that quick? That's nuts. Yeah, wow, yeah.
Yeah, y'all was not in my vocabulary before I started that job.
Yellow?
Y'all, and like I was firmly like a non-y'all.
Yaller?
Oh,
like dude. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I've always been a yaller, so that's been nuts to me, you know?
Yeah, it was not.
Never a
I
yins.
Was a use guys or a you guys.
Oh, a use guys? Oh, that's crazy. Yins is crazy, though. Yins is just like nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to end when you started singing that song.
That's fair.
I'll
talk to you guys later.
Michael Clayton. Michael Clayton.